Good morning, IHSA football family. It's time now we get into the deep dish football overtime game of the week, round two IHSA playoffs 2021. Big game. Normal Community High School travels up north to take on the Jacobs Eagles, and both teams got a wonderful story. Got two great stories facing each other. First, we're going to talk about Normal Community, but Normal Community, again, undefeated. Probably one of the least talked about teams, undefeated teams in the state of Illinois. I really believe that. I talked to one of the members of the media up north, and he couldn't believe how many people really didn't talk about Normal Community. But we deserve to talk more about Normal Community. This team is really special. They have a hell of a group of players, great offensive line, great defense, and a great quarterback, good wide receivers, just the whole 9 yards with this team. It's unbelievable. So let's get started. Well, and we look at their schedule, normal central schedule, and again, as you can see in the schedule, pretty good. With the amount of opponents that they have, especially some of the talented teams that they played, like a Peoria High School, which they won in a very tough fought game, a Normal West, which is another tough fought game. Round one, they beat Eisenhower. I don't think that was much of a surprise to anyone. I think people had a lot of people have had Normal Central at least getting into the quarterfinals. I think that was a lot of people's predictions. And again, here, let me go down. Just 1 second. Let me talk about Peoria Notre Dame that they played as well. Another great team, a playoff team. Peoria Notre Dame, Peoria, and Normal West. And I believe Normal West is knocked out of the playoffs. Don't quote me. I haven't checked the brackets again. But again, for today. But big shout out to that conference. And again, Normal's community got an undefeated season. So you can't you can't make anything that better, much better. And I think and again, the most points they gave up was against the Peoria offense, and everyone gives up a lot of good points to Peoria. But a big shout out to that Normal defense for they had a great season. And we go into the team section. Chase Mackey again is the top quarterback and one of the top quarterbacks that everyone needs to talk about. I don't think to anyone's chagrin. He is a very talented player. Tyler Dinwall, another talented player, one of the top recruits in the state of Illinois. Camden Mass, a guy he's getting some recent offers. Hell of a defensive back. Just hell of an all-around player. Very instinctive, very fluid. Um, uh, Javon Smith, another player to keep an eye out for. Terrence Washington, wide receivers. They're one of their big wide receivers. For Normal, Ty Niekamp, linebacker that I really, really like. Again, great defense. Great defense. Hopefully I got the right defensive tackle name. Javon Smith, another player. Chris Taylor from Normal, another player you got to check out for as well. Let me go down for a little bit. Zion Williams, he's one of their senior offensive linemen to keep an eye out for. Another knee camp to keep an eye out for, Dexter. That's going to be coming up in a couple of years. He's definitely a huge player as well. I'm forgetting one more wide receiver. I'm forgetting one more. I think it's Kyle Theory, if I'm not mistaken. But they got one more good wide receiver as well. Well, not good. All these kids are good, of course, but a very talented player. But they have a great, talented offense in Normal Community, especially like I said, on their defense, unbelievable. Um, Big shout out to that defense coordinator of Normal. He's doing a hell of a job. That was quite impressive, especially with some of the game film I saw, especially against. I was very impressed with Peoria, and again Peoria Notre Dame, which was really impressive as well. And let's go to Jacobs. And I went to Jacobs. What was it? Uh, I went to I went to Jacobs. I went to Jacobs in, I think, late mid June, and I did a preview for them. I did a Fox Valley preview, and I was called out because I said Jacobs could be a surprise team in the Fox Valley. Guess who was right finally? And I eat a lot of crow. I'm wrong about a lot of things, but I was right about Jacobs. And I think the big thing was, and when I talked about before, and what was it? Crystal Lake South was the huge game that they had to win, and Hampshire. Hampshire was the must win, but Crystal Lake was the Temple game, if I'm not mistaken, and that was a huge win for Jacobs. A huge win for Jacobs as they beat Crystal Lake South. Um, so when they won and they beat Crystal Lake South, I was completely shocked the week after they lose to Crystal Lake Central. Um, but again, Crystal Lake Central, they're in the playoffs as well, and I believe they're in the second round. And we get to McHenry, they win. Okay, no problem. The big one that shocked me, the big game that absolutely blew my hat off my head was Prairie Ridge. They lost that game, but they fought Prairie Ridge. They fought Prairie Ridge to the T. That was impressive. And the resiliency of this Jacobs team is something to be noted. And I know a lot of people think that Normal's going to come up north and just absolutely obliterate Jacobs. Not so fast. I'm telling you right now, this Jacobs team is tough. And they fight. They fight to the fourth quarter. There's no give up in them. And it's unbelievable. And Cary Grove, they fought Cary Grove. They lost. Who's the third loss? I'm forgetting. Yeah, I'm sorry, Prairie Ridge. But they beat Central. They beat Hampshire. They of course beat Sunday Crown. They come into round one, and they knock off Hersey. Hersey had some bad end games, no doubt about that. But that's quite impressive for this Jacobs team to go into the house of Hersey and beat them. That was very impressive. Coach Zimmerman, he's doing a hell of a job with this Jacobs team. And I know from spring season, they didn't have a strong spring season, but they proved a lot this season. Great season. And again, we talk about the team, Grant Stack, huge recruit. So he got an offer from University of Illinois and a few other Big 10 universities. He's going to get more offers as well, including maybe some SEC as well, and some ACC for the team. Besides Grant Stack, Ben Lundum, definitely a huge player that we got to talk about too. Running back, he's been killing it. Nazir Canty, huge running back, another athlete. And you love that offense. I love that Jacobs offense. It is one of the better offenses. And again, I like that full house. I really do. And we talk also, forget Nick True, another big play athlete. They got some size. That needs to be talked about again. Some huge size too, which is quite impressive. And again, when you go up north, I swear those kids get bigger. Was it? Hopefully I'm not. Yeah, Max Benner, quarterback. He's doing an unbelievable job. I saw him in the summer. He was warming up, and he's warmed up. He's good. Antonio Brown, very impressive. Antonio Brown, by the way. Did an interview with him, and where's the other one? I'm looking for another person. There's a lineman that I really like. Where's the lineman? I'm trying to find this kid's name. He is. No, it's Shannon. I'm trying to find. I think his last name is Shannon, if I'm not mistaken. And he's a senior. but he's a tough little SOB. He is tough. He's tough to the T. I liked him to practice, and I think that from that summer that Jacobs offensive line, I really respect what that offensive line coach was doing with that offensive line. That offensive line, they fight. They fight. They got a bunch of little tanks. That's all I'm gonna say. Undersized, but they'll knock you on your ass. They're tough SOBs. So definitely, this Jacobs offensive line is one of my favorite offensive lines because I like the size, I like the competitiveness of that offensive line, and that Jacobs team. But you got to give it up to the Jacobs Eagles. They did a wonderful job this season. So it's going to be a good game. My personal feeling about this game is definitely Jacobs secondary has got to stop that normal passing attack, and for normal. I forgot it was like 425 yards that they got in they got against Hersey Jacobs. For normal, the big thing is stopping the run. They have to stop the run, force Jacobs to pass the ball, force again put pressure on the quarterback, force him to make mistakes, and that's the same thing that Jacobs has got to do. Jacobs has got to do against Mackey of normal. So see what happens. I'm excited about this game. Released some magic numbers, did some interviews, gonna do some more interviews. And yeah, but that is the preview for Jacobs taking on Normal Community in round 2, Class 7A IHSA football round 2 playoff game, Deep Dish Football overtime game of the week. Thank you so much, and please follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. My email is coachbigpete@gmail.com. Deep Dish Football live Thursday at 6 p.m. So should be a lot of fun, and we're going to be talking more about this game on Deep Dish Football live as well. Thank you guys so much, and have a lovely day. And make sure you visit deepdishfootball.com.